Good evening, I'm Ian Hannamansing. Tonight, Canada breaks a daily COVID case record, and Ottawa calls in the military.
This will be a major effort. Canada can and will do this.
Prime Minister Trudeau taps a former NATO commander to head up the vaccine rollout plan. And Ontario calls in its own general as questions pile up about when and how much.
I told the Prime Minister that we need answers, and we expect answers.
Plus, Black Friday bargain hunters hit the malls.
We have like sanitizer, I'm wearing double mask.
Can shopping be safe?
It was awful. She was really upset.
Also tonight, what happened in Ontario that left a baby boy dead. Plus, the national interview with Willie O'Ree on hockey's past, present, and future. Kids are still getting called the N-word in hockey today.
It's not going to stop overnight.
This is The National. It is both the most vivid and most tragic measure of COVID across this country. The number of deaths in the last 7 days, 561 Canadians. And as the second wave continues to build this week, so do questions about the vaccines. In a moment, we'll tell you who's been put in charge of the massive job of distribution. But first, David Cochrane shows us a government facing pressure, not just to deliver the vaccine, but also to tell us when.
The way Justin Trudeau sees it, the focus on vaccines is backwards.
I know there's a lot of focus right now on when do we reach the starting line.
The starting line should be January when first shipments arrive. But the start, he says, isn't what's most important.
This pandemic doesn't get over until we reach the finish line. And that's why the news that Canadians can expect, if all goes well, to have more than half of us vaccinated by next September is significant positive news.
But still a week of demands for specifics that didn't come. From reporters,
the Americans say that they'll get vaccination started within 48 hours of approval. So why can't you provide a timeline to Canadians on vaccine delivery and rollout?
And premiers.
Because we can't have Canadians watching as our allies start getting vaccines without having a clear answer on when we will be getting it.
But Canada's health experts say a clear answer just isn't possible right now. These vaccines aren't even approved. They've never been manufactured or used on the scale that will be required.
Right now, it's a bit of a moving target. We have 2 vaccines which are very promising, but they're still in the process of, quote, going through the regulatory process.
That reassurance hasn't stopped the criticism.
Will 33 plus million Canadians be vaccinated at the same time that 33 plus million Americans are?
But the vaccination timelines of other countries are, at this point, their best estimates. Canadian officials privately say matching allies with firm dates could undermine public confidence if there are delays.
This will be the biggest immunization in the history of the country,
requiring the government to manage not only the logistics, but also the expectations. David Cochrane, CBC News, Ottawa.
One question remains, though. Who should manage those vaccine rollout logistics? Turns out it won't be public health officials alone. Instead, the military is taking command again. Murray Brewster explains who and why.
He commanded Canada's NATO mission in Iraq. Now he's in charge of making sure Canadians get the COVID vaccine.
Major General Danny Fortin will be heading up the logistics and operations within this centre. Major General Fortin is a seasoned officer.
In a country as geographically large as ours, we can expect some logistical challenges ahead.
The federal government intends to purchase 7 vaccines, all still in development, all with different approval times, transport, and storage needs. One of the first challenges, picking up vaccine from overseas manufacturers.
C-17 or a C-130J Hercules could do that task.
Dan Ross has experience managing a crisis. He was the defense official in charge of buying and moving equipment on an emergency basis into Kandahar.
Most public servant departments are not trained or equipped to do that type of role. They don't do command control communications. They are normally policy shops or deliver services to Canadians.
The Canadian military was called in to rescue provincial long-term care homes last spring with 1,700 troops. Now, more than 28 of their top planners are seconded to public health.
So I think there's obviously going to be a bit of a trade-off in terms of how much they can watch the rest of the world and engage in detailed planning to respond.
I don't know if this has ever happened before.
This public health expert says having the military so heavily involved and at such a late date is an indictment of health officials who've had 2 decades or more to get ready for a big pandemic.
You know, you spent a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of resources planning for this, planning for the pandemic. And this is the best that you can do.
How much more involved the military will get is unclear. Public health is still developing its plan. Defense Minister Harjit Sajjan acknowledges it is not beyond the realm of possibility. In some parts of Canada, troops could be running clinics and administering vaccine. Murray Brewster, CBC News, Ottawa.
And Ontario's vaccine plan has its own military look. Today, former Chief of the Defence Staff Rick Hillier spoke about readiness.
We kind of want to be ready by Christmas Eve, because Christmas to New Year's is always a bit more challenging, no matter how dedicated you are in getting ready. But we are going to be ready for 31 December.
Hillier was named to lead Ontario's vaccine rollout task force on Monday. If anyone still had any doubts about being in the throes of a second wave, today's numbers should put an end to that. Canada adding nearly 6,000 new cases, the most in one day since the beginning of the pandemic. It was fueled in part by records set by 2 provinces, Ontario with a new daily high of 1,855 cases, and British Columbia with 911 new infections. Saskatchewan reporting its second highest daily total with 329 new infections, just as new rules came into effect today, mostly reducing capacity at some businesses. As Bonnie Allen tells us, some owners are more than willing to make that sacrifice.
Johnny Rahman owns 3 restaurants, including this Mary Brown's Chicken. Business is down by half. He's had to clear out most of his tables due to public health restrictions, and yet he's embracing it all.
Whatever is happening, this is for saving life.
The 36-year-old father of 2 believes he nearly lost his own life to COVID-19.
One point, I couldn't even talk. I couldn't even breathe.
In October, isolated from his family, he felt like he was choking to death.
Wife was crying on the other side of the door. Kids were crying on the side of the door.
Rahman even made funeral plans and asked his lawyer to draft a will. Twice they called 911.
And my wife was just keep telling me, like, be with me. Help is coming. Paramedics are coming.
Now recovered, the business owner is worried about increasing strain on the healthcare system. Right now, the province's intensive care units are 97% full.
I cannot tell you enough how real this is.
Those that doubt that have begun to anger ICU physician Dr. Susan Shaw.
It's so frustrating when I get emails, I get letters, I get phone calls, I get texts, I get tweets by people saying this isn't real, you're exaggerating.
If Saskatchewan residents would let this go unchecked, we would be sending Dr. Shaw and thousands of frontline workers in our healthcare system into a lion's den.
Right now, the province sees 1,800 cases a week. The latest projection forecasts 10,000 cases a week by late December if no further measures are implemented. Rahman is willing to accommodate additional restrictions.
We sacrifice 5 months, 4 months from our life. We can enjoy 50 years ahead.
As for the survival of his restaurants, Rahman says the federal emergency wage subsidy and revised rent relief program will keep him afloat. Bonnie Allen, CBC News, Regina.
This is Black Friday, the U.S. shopping frenzy that's become increasingly popular here. But even with lots of restrictions, including lockdowns, the pandemic wasn't enough to keep some shoppers from heading to the mall. Katie Nicholson took a look.
They lined up early, and they lined up prepared.
Take a chair for in the mall and outside the mall.
On the hunt for deals on a very different kind of Black Friday.
I'm looking for some Nike drip, some tech fleece. Know what I'm saying? Just whatever, man, whatever they have.
This mall is just north of Toronto's COVID lockdown zone, where stores have been ordered closed except for curbside pickup.
Where are you guys coming from today?
Toronto. We were staying inside. We were not going anywhere, so we didn't feel like we were putting anybody at risk.
Health officials knew this might happen.
People should not be traveling from high
incidence zones to low incidence zones because there is the possibility that they may be more likely to be transmitting infections.
To cut down on the risk, municipal health authorities put strict limits in place. This mall, usually packed on Black Fridays past, today is operating at just 15% capacity.
This line is just for Nike.
And that includes staff. In Manitoba, where stores are only permitted to sell essential items, there were stern warnings of steep fines for anyone caught selling anything else.
No matter what these stores have set up in store for Black Friday, there shouldn't be much of a demand because Manitobans should be staying home.
In Calgary, no door crashing, but lots of disinfecting.
I'd say everyone's following protocols.
It's not a secret that people in malls, people in stores have gotten outbreaks.
Despite all the precautions, infectious disease doctors worry shoppers could get more than they bargained for.
It's the crowds, it's the indoors, it's the settings where distancing is poor, it's all of that.
Back at this Ontario mall, the parking lot tells the story. While some decided to risk it, many more decided to stay put.
And Katie, you're there tonight as the last shoppers trickle out. What's the plan for malls from now until Christmas?
Well, you know, I talked to the management of this mall 14 hours ago this morning, and even then there was a lineup, and they said this is the new reality. This is what shoppers who are going to risk it are going to have to face. Long lines on the outside so that you can physical distance on the inside. The other thing that they're really talking about in this region in particular, the medical officer of health talking about stepped up enforcement, sending police and inspectors into these retailers to make sure that the stores are following all of the COVID safety rules that have been put in place. And if not, there's going to be fines and closures, something that we are looking to see happening elsewhere in other COVID hotspots across Canada. Ian?
All right. Thanks, Katie. Katie Nicholson, just north of Toronto tonight. Well, today's record-breaking numbers out of British Columbia come a week after the province imposed some new rules, including making masks mandatory in most public indoor spaces. That has led to some serious altercations. Our Greg Rasmussen begins with some video that is difficult to watch.
A Walmart employee punched and kicked by an irate customer who turned violent after being asked to cover his face. Police arrested a suspect and say the victim was only doing his job.
Certainly business owners have the right to refuse customers entry into their premises based on the lack of wearing a mask.
Another incident. In Nelson, a man turned abusive after being told to wear a mask. He spat on an employee at this cafe, who later had a heart attack and is now in hospital.
Everybody needs to calm down. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and you may not like certain things, but I mean, people are just trying to work, and we're all trying to get through this.
We've heard stories this week, and they make me very concerned and sad.
For months, Dr. Bonnie Henry resisted calls for a mask mandate, saying it would create unnecessary challenges with enforcement. But she relented last week after retailers pushed for the ability to call in the police.
This requirement to wear a mask in indoor public locations is a provincial order that everyone must follow, just as we do things like wearing seatbelts and helmets and following the speed limits.
I said to stay off the bus till you put a mask on!
But this leaves frontline workers as enforcers, leading to more stress. This BC Transit driver yelled repeatedly at a man for not wearing a mask.
I'm sorry! You're not wearing a proper mask! Get up!
And kept yelling even after the passenger apologized. The combination of enforcement and education should convince the vast majority of people to wear masks, says this psychologist, who warns that a few people will always be difficult to reach.
85 to 90% of people will be okay with it. For anti-maskers, you need another messaging strategy, a strategy that doesn't make them feel like they're being pushed around or robbed of their freedoms.
His advice, if you see someone breaking the rules, better to bite your tongue than risk things turning violent. Greg Rasmussen, CBC News, Vancouver.
In Alberta, new restrictions announced earlier this week came into effect today, and with them, a promise from the province that enforcement will be ramped up.
We are temporarily increasing the number of peace officers who can sanction fines against those who break the rules. I am temporarily extending this authority to about 700 more officers.
The stern warning comes as the province recorded more than 1,200 new cases, along with 9 more deaths. An investigation, meanwhile, has been opened into the leak of secret recordings on Alberta's pandemic response. As we reported yesterday, they were obtained exclusively by CBC News and reveal the province at times overruled the advice of its top experts. Dr. Dina Hinshaw called the leak a betrayal of trust and stressed her job is simply to provide advice. Let's turn now to a developing story we reported on yesterday. What exactly happened outside Lindsay, Ontario is still unclear. The confrontation ended with a police officer and father injured and a 1-year-old boy shot dead. But as Magda Gebersalasa tells us, it began with a mother afraid and looking for help.
Tom DeCiccio answered his door to a family running to safety.
There was a lady, there was her mother-in-law, there was her little 3-year-old, and they were quite upset.
DeCiccio's neighbors were running from this home in Bobcaygeon, the starting point of what would turn out to be a deadly incident in the Kawartha Lakes area. DeCiccio said the woman told him her husband had taken off with the younger child.
The man obviously had some sort of an episode and was apparently threatening them.
Police say they tried to stop the man in the pickup truck about 30 minutes away. Eventually, there was a crash on this road. The Special Investigations Unit tells us then an interaction ended with 3 officers firing their guns. We know that the father was shot and taken to a trauma center. An officer who was outside his vehicle was also seriously injured in the crash. And the 1-year-old boy was found dead in the vehicle.
They came and informed the lady that her young son was deceased. And that was even more disturbing. It was awful. Yeah, she was really upset.
The SIU confirmed the child had a gunshot wound. Today, investigators said they retrieved 3 firearms from the police officers, and a gun was found inside the truck. While we were there, police investigators arrived to speak with DeCiccio. The SIU says it's too early to say what happened here. We do know that both the father and the police officer remain in hospital tonight. As for the child, an autopsy has been scheduled for tomorrow in Toronto. Magda Gebersalasa, CBC News, Kawartha Lakes, Ontario.
Ottawa announced more than $500 million in funding today to help Indigenous groups establish their own child welfare services.
This is vital to moving forward on our promise to address the unacceptable injustices that too many kids and families have faced in the care system.
More than half of the children in foster care in Canada are Indigenous. They're often taken out of their communities. The money comes from legislation passed last year recognizing that Indigenous people's right to self-government includes the right to run their own welfare agencies. Senator Murray Sinclair, one of Canada's most respected Indigenous rights advocates, is resigning from the Red Chamber. Before his appointment, Sinclair led the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and was the first Indigenous judge appointed in Manitoba. The 69-year-old says he wants to focus on Indigenous law mentorship and writing his new memoir. He'll leave the Senate January 31st. The killing of a top Iranian nuclear scientist has the country pointing fingers tonight, but the death could do more than raise regional tensions. Katie Simpson tells us the killing may create conflict during the transition from Trump to Biden.
On a busy road outside of Tehran, a violent attack that may inflame tensions in the already volatile region. In this bullet-riddled car was the scientist the West suspected of leading Iran's secret nuclear weapons program. State media says Mohsen Fakhrizadeh was targeted by assassins who ambushed his vehicle. Terrorists murdered an eminent Iranian scientist, wrote Iran's foreign minister on Twitter, claiming there's serious indications of an Israeli role. Israel has not commented on the killing, and no person, country, or group has claimed responsibility.
It's not clear who has done it, but there are not that many candidates at the end of the day.
Fakhrizadeh was well known. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu singled him out in 2018 during a presentation on Iran's nuclear program.
A key part of the plan was to form new organizations to continue the work. This is how Dr. Mohsen Fakhrizadeh head of project Ahmad put it. Remember that name, Fakhrizadeh.
On Iran's English-language state broadcaster, pundits made links to both Israel and its closest ally, the United States.
Whatever is done in Iran is going to be seen by Iranians as the handiwork of Americans.
Backlash in Tehran will further sour relations with Washington at a time when that relationship is poised to change. President-elect Joe Biden has indicated he's open to rejoining the Iran nuclear deal. Israel has been strongly supportive of President Donald Trump's decision to pull out of the nuclear agreement, arguing the original deal only emboldened Iran. Getting back in could be more difficult if there are renewed tensions on the ground. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Washington.
Some universities across the country are delaying the start of their winter semester.
I have days when I wake up at 10 a.m. and then I stay up till 5 a.m. doing assignments.
Up next, lessons from a term spent online and the solutions schools are now turning to. Plus, my conversation with Willie O'Ree, the NHL's first black player.
If people can't accept you for the individual that you are, then that's their problem.
His message about racism then and now. And later, a Christmas plant that isn't playing by the rules.
We put it in a bigger pot, and it just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
We're back in 2. More universities added their names today to a growing list of schools giving their students a break by delaying the start of the second semester. As Deanna Sumanak-Johnson tells us, it's to help offset the stress of online learning and the isolation.
We're generally feeling burnt out with school.
Like many students in Canada, Elisa Doe attends her classes virtually from her parents' home. That's more than 100 kilometers away from her now deserted campus at McMaster University in Hamilton. A campus once overflowing with life.
Because of the lack of social connection and not having emotional support from my friends, it really makes it harder to concentrate and feel as motivated.
So her school, like many across Canada, is giving students a break, an extra week off for the winter holiday.
There was really an interest in delaying the term to provide more time off for our students. We're well aware of the health issues, mental health issues right now.
A new study says student stress is a widespread problem. Of the 2,200 faculty and 500 students surveyed, most said they feel online learning has negatively impacted the quality of university education in Ontario. More than half of students reported concerns for their mental health. These University of Toronto students started a petition for more time off to decompress.
I have days when I wake up at 10 a.m. and then I stay up till 5 a.m. doing assignments and submitting. So yeah, so it's kind of like you really lose track of time zones, of like days it is.
U of T is one of the institutions to extend its winter break. It also announced a new mental health website to serve its more than 90,000 students. But students are hoping it's enough to meet their needs.
I know a few people who had to wait for months to see a counselor and talk to a psychiatrist.
Elisa Doe says she'll use that extra week of holidays to rest, pick up a hobby, maybe painting or drawing.
It's things that really make me feel calm and less overwhelmed with school.
A much-needed respite in a year that's been all work and no play. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
Coming up, my interview with the Maritimer who broke a historic barrier in the NHL. Willie O'Ree is blunt about what he had to put up with and from whom. But first, 114 people got an honor today that O'Ree also has. New Order of Canada recipients include Olympic gold medalist Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer, and Mark Tewksbury, who posted about it.
I received in the mail this beautiful lapel pin that I get to wear over my heart. And to put the pin on for the first time, I've asked my partner in life, Rob Mabey, my companion, to do the honors. All right, it's an honor. Oh, there you are. There it is. Companion. Thank you so much, Canada. It means the world to me. Thank you.
Among those joining Tewksbury's companions, actor and singer Tom Jackson and writer Thomas King. We'll be right back. Welcome back. 2020 will certainly be known for the global pandemic, but it may also be remembered as a time of reckoning for anti-Black racism. That's certainly the case in the sports world, including the NHL. And on that score, there's probably no one more qualified to comment than Willie O'Ree. At a time when the National Hockey League had only 6 teams and every player was white, Willie O'Ree made history. January 18th, 1958, the first Black player in the NHL. Like the legendary Brooklyn Dodger Jackie Robinson did before him, Willie O'Ree had broken the color barrier at the highest level of his sport. But his achievement didn't get much attention at the time, in part because he played just 45 games in the NHL. Even that was remarkable when you consider he was blind in one eye after getting hit with a slap shot as a junior. But O'Ree did have a long career in the professional minor leagues, and his impact on the game is still being felt today.
How you doing? Good.
Surprisingly, it wasn't until the late 90s the league invited O'Ree to work with them to promote diversity. And that's where I first met him, in Vancouver. This weekend, the NHL announced it's created a brand new job for Willie O'Ree to try to encourage kids from diverse ethnic backgrounds to get involved in hockey in Canada and the United States. What a difference 40 years makes. From playing hockey on the frozen ponds in the Maritimes to Hockey Night in Canada.
Where are you from? Where are you from? Well, I'm from Fredericton, New Brunswick, and I played most of my hockey there.
To his induction to the Hockey Hall of Fame, you can follow O'Ree's trailblazing path in his new memoir, Willie, the game-changing story of the NHL's first black player. I spoke with Willie O'Ree from his home in Berkeley, California, and asked about that historic debut in the NHL. Willie O'Ree, it's a real pleasure to get to talk to you. Hello.
Thank you, Ian. It certainly is a pleasure.
Your groundbreaking path is obviously often compared to Jackie Robinson in baseball. What was it like for you on that day in terms of the issue of race?
Well, I didn't have any problems with any racial remarks or racial slurs directed towards me. It was later on when I went to cities like Detroit and Chicago and New York, I was received with racial remarks and racial slurs, not only from the players, but fans in the stand. I mean, I'd sit in the penalty box, and fans would come by and, spit at me or throw a drink at me and call me the N-word or some racial remark. And, I just sit there and take it. Back then, referees and linesmen, they didn't do anything. And even ushers and people that were working in the arena never made any remark.
So speaking of Hockey Night in Canada, you were interviewed on the television version by Ward Cornell, and we're going to play a clip of that now.
In terms of this business of being the Jackie Robinson of hockey, have you had any troubles? No, none that you could say that were troubles. I've heard a few jeers like that, but I guess all hockey players get that. That's right.
So Willie, you made a decision. I know you described this in your memoir to kind of stay away from talking in detail about racism in that interview. Why?
I fought a lot. I fought because I had to, not because I wanted to, but guys wanted to see what I was made of, and I had stick fights and I fought with fists. But it always came back to the same thing, where the racial remarks and racial slurs were directed towards me, and I kind of let it in one ear and out the other. That's one thing my brother told me. He said, "Willie, names will never hurt you unless you let them. And if people can't accept you for the individual that you are, then that's their problem, not yours." And it went along, and I felt that I had played the 21 years I played pro, that I played to the best of my ability and tried to represent the hockey club to the best of my ability.
I met you back in 1998 at an event in Vancouver, and I thought then what I think now, seeing you speak and reading your memoir, there is a quiet dignity about you, but at the same time, you're no pushover. Like, you're a tough guy. And you made a decision in your memoir to mention a couple of people by name who really bothered you. And one is Eric Nestorenko, Chicago Blackhawk player. And you tell the story about how when you played his team, he called you the N-word, but you made a decision to tell that story and use his name in the memoir. Why did you do that?
That was probably the only player that I really had problems with, was Nestorenko. He deliberately, butt-ended me in the mouth and knocked my teeth out and broke my nose. And I just wanted to let people know that, hey, this is the guy that really gave me the most problems during the time that I played with the Bruins.
And the fascinating thing is, and I think a lot of people can relate to this, even if race is not the issue, if they have an encounter with somebody, years later, you ran into each other at a hockey event and you wondered how he would respond to you, and he was just casual and just said hi like nothing had happened.
Yeah, well, I had put he was number 15, and I had number 15 in the back of my mind, and I left the league in 1961, and then in 1991, 30 years later, I got a nice letter from the NHL inviting me to the All-Star game in Chicago. And I says, well, why are you inviting me? It's been 30 years since I left the league. Why didn't you invite me 10 years after I left, or 5 years? And they said, well, we realized that you broke the color barrier and we'd like you to come to Chicago. So there was an all-star luncheon, dinner. I was sitting with 9 other people at this table. And my wife wanted a glass of wine, and there wasn't any white wine on the table. And I said, well, I'll go out to the bar. And then Nesterenko comes and stands to my left. And I didn't say anything. And he looked down at me because he was about 6'4" and I'm 5'9". And he looked down and he says, hello, Willie, what's going on? And I looked up at him. I said, nothing, Eric. And I just said, well, in my back of my mind, I said, let's go. Let's get it on right here. And he just got his drink and went to the left, and I got my drink, and I went back to the table, and I never saw him again that evening.
So you thought there might be a fight, or did you feel like maybe there should have been a fight?
After 30 years, he probably still remembered me, but I was ready to go with him right there at the bar, but he just turned and went his way, and I went mine.
Yeah, well, whether he remembered you or not, you certainly remembered him, and you remembered the way he treated you, and you remembered the N-word, and again, I'm going to read from your book. Maybe he thought using the N-word against me was just old-fashioned trash talking. It's not. Trash aims to needle an opponent by casting doubt on his strength. Racism aims to diminish the humanity of a person, period. It's not about the game, it's about your life. And yet, Willie, kids are still getting called the N-word in hockey today.
I know. It's not going to stop overnight, and I've got letters and I've got phone calls from fathers and mothers, asking me what can their sons and daughters do coming off the ice crying, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids. But we're working in the right direction. I mean, it may take 10, maybe 15, maybe 20 years, maybe not in my lifetime, but it's just too bad. The way things are going on with the racism and the race problem. But now in the National Hockey League, their players are being fined and in suspensions for using racial slurs and racial remarks directed towards the players.
Racism is the kind of thing that can end if people just choose to end it. And so for the people who are watching here who may be hockey parents or hockey players or referees in minor hockey, what's your message to them, Willie?
I just say, feel good about yourself and like yourself. You can't change the color of your skin, and I know you wouldn't want to. And as I said about myself, if people can't accept you for the individual that you are, then that's their problem. Just go out and be who you are and treat people the way that you'd like to be treated.
And we haven't even talked about the fact that you played in the NHL with just one eye, which is, your teammates, when they discovered that, found that unbelievable. But you are an incredible athlete. You are, as I say, a man of great dignity and obviously of great courage. And I really enjoyed reading your memoir. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Ian. It was a pleasure, really.
And we tried to reach out to Eric Nesterenko through the Chicago Blackhawks to get a response to Willie O'Ree's allegations of racial abuse. That was nearly 2 weeks ago, and we still haven't heard back. Up next, what's in store for the Hudson's Bay Company? How the pandemic is creating challenges for the legacy retailer, but also opportunity. And later, what happens when your deliveries go green? A pilot project that could be coming to a neighborhood near you. The Hudson's Bay Company has been a fixture in Canada for 350 years. And like many retail shops, it's spent the last few facing challenges. Of course, it's also been affected by COVID, closing locations leading to lawsuits and evictions. But as Peter Armstrong shows us, some experts see opportunity.
If you happen by the Bay's flagship store in Toronto, and if you look at it just so, it could feel like any other Christmas season. But this is decidedly not normal. The pandemic is just the latest in a series of crises crushing retailers everywhere.
Retail was changing drastically before COVID came along. And all that COVID did was expedite it to warp speed.
Long before COVID, the Bay was in trouble. Canadian bricks and mortar stores like Sears and Target were being replaced by Amazon, and malls everywhere are still struggling to reinvent themselves. Last December, after the Bay posted a $226 million quarterly loss, a CBC News item looked at what the Bay should do.
I think if they could snap their fingers and say we had half the number of stores and all of them were 3/4 of the size or half the size, I think they'd be doing great.
Today, that same analyst says COVID is both crisis and opportunity to get out of those leases and locations that are less than ideal.
The landlords don't have any negotiating power because they're going to look at them and say, listen, if you don't pay your rent in the store, we're going to evict you. And the Bay says, well, when are you going to scare me? Because actually that's what I'm looking to do.
For its part, HBC says it believes the burden posed by the pandemic should be shared fairly by both landlords and retailers. As restrictions spread across the country, the immediate crisis for retailers of all sizes has deepened. But it's also heightened the need for HBC to speed up its transformation into a smaller, leaner, more agile company. Peter Armstrong, CBC News, Toronto.
Delivery companies are also adapting to the changing times. All the online ordering during the pandemic has caused concern over carbon emissions. So as Tashana Reid shows us, some are finding greener ways to get Canadians their packages.
This is Yuri Mitrov's busiest time of year. But instead of driving a truck, he's delivering online orders from an electric cargo bike.
It's definitely easier getting around the city. You can go up and down all the one-way streets. I can go up on the sidewalks. I don't have to worry about parking enforcement.
These 3 e-bikes, part of a pilot project in downtown Toronto that FedEx plans to expand to other Canadian cities.
E-commerce is not going away. Those megatrends we're seeing are not going to go away. So the bike has given us a definite advantage in those markets.
This environmental policy researcher says there's lots of opportunity to reduce the carbon footprint in deliveries.
In Canada, transportation emissions is one of the highest emitting sectors, and freight is a big chunk of that. We need to look to move towards innovative zero-emission delivery methods.
FedEx isn't the first to switch from 4 wheels to 2.
Today, we are doing near 5,000 deliveries a week.
Montreal's Colibri project started testing out e-cargo bikes last fall, turning an old bus station into a mini e-bike hub.
In dense areas, bikes plus many hubs are profitable for the companies, are less emitting greenhouse gas emission, using less space, more secured for pedestrians and bikes.
And in Vancouver, a company called Shift offers local businesses environmentally friendly delivery. Still, there are hurdles in Canada.
In Vancouver, water is a big problem.
From government regulations to winter weather and high costs. On that front, some experts want the government to chip in.
They are expensive to not only just import, but also to service and maintain at this time. So the more we can get government to help support with incentives, we can really start opening up the industry.
For now, companies will have to make the investment on their own. Tashana Reid, CBC News, Toronto.
After the break, spreading the Christmas cheer early. Some Canadians are decking the halls and going all out in this holiday season. Why you may want to jump on this bandwagon too.
Got Santa in his helicopter, a bunch in the back there.
We have the Scarborough raccoon, reindeers, and the trees, the snowman.
That epic display is the work of 3 Toronto neighbours who've teamed up to create a winter wonderland. It all started 15 years ago with one Santa, one sleigh, and a lonely little reindeer. Like many traditions, it grew. Now they have about 10,000 lights, which cover nearly their entire block. So for some purists, it may seem like Christmas has come way too early this year, but as Tina Lovegreen explains, decking the halls might be exactly what we need during this pandemic.
It's not the high heights Mike Criddle is used to. He's a commercial pilot. But after being furloughed due to COVID-19, he's found a new gig, stringing Christmas lights.
It's nice when we get a place like this done and the owners appreciate what we've done, and you know it does look nice, and it's nice to bring a little bit of Christmas cheer, I suppose, out.
And people have been looking for extra cheer this year.
I've been in this for 11 years, and it's by far the busiest year we've ever had. People are doing it earlier. We expect the lights to stay up longer. People are stuck at home and not traveling this holiday season. They tend to want to make their homes a lot more comfortable.
And it's not just private homes where they're spreading a little joy.
Compared to everything else that we've done, this is definitely one of our bigger projects that we're putting together.
His company is installing a winter wonderland for residents in this care community in Surrey, where many won't be able to visit with family this year.
We haven't been out in 9 to 10 months, any of us been anywhere. So anything they can bring for Christmas is a joy.
It makes me quite emotional to see Sharon and hear Sharon come out and share that this has brightened her heart and her soul. It's exactly what we wanted, so it makes me feel really good.
If you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, psychologists say putting up decorations can elevate your mood. It brings a bit of warmth and color to your house, but it also taps into tradition.
Cultural rituals are really important to people, because they provide things that are stable and positive and normalizing. And the rituals are things that outlive our mortality. They outlive the sickness and death of COVID-19. But we've not been able to pursue a lot of these rituals during the pandemic.
Everyone just trying to find a bit of brightness during dark times. Tina Lovegreen, CBC News, Surrey.
Next on The National, a Quebec man has a serious green thumb. The story behind this giant Christmas flower is next in our moment. But first...
Oh my goodness, we're actually playing, everybody.
This is NDP leader Jagmeet Singh playing the popular online game Among Us with U.S. Democrat Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. AOC, as she's known, is a bit of a Twitch superstar.
AOC has found a body.
Hundreds of thousands watched her live stream last month to get out the U.S. vote. That's among the highest views in the platform's history. Singh invited her for a game yesterday. Her reply, what could go wrong?
Oh, shoot.
In Among Us, everything. Astronauts try to find out which one of them is the imposter.
I guess it turns out that I'm actually the imposter.
Before said imposter knocks them off one by one or sabotages the ship.
Jagmeet, you just killed him right in front of me.
Singh learned that on Twitch at least, even in space...
You got me, okay? You got me. And I don't know why I keep on being the imposter.
Everyone can hear you scream. Most people don't expect their poinsettias to last much longer than their Christmas trees, but this particular potted plant is going on 3 years old and it is thriving. And the Christmas flower isn't just healthy, it is huge. The giant poinsettia and the story behind it is tonight's moment.
My wife brought this poinsettia home 3 years ago. I figured, you know what, let's put it in a little pot and stick it outside for the summer. And the following fall, I brought it back in.
Then he put it in a bigger pot and it just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
The thing just exploded. From the size of a basketball to the size to this size in 3-4 months. It's mind-blowing.
I'm almost 5'9".
I just love this thing. The colors make me happy, especially in this COVID time. It just makes me forget about all the problems around the world right now. Nobody can believe it, so we sent pictures, and it's really going to be incredible once the blossoms start turning yellow. That's when it becomes a true poinsettia that you see in the stores.
Anything he touches, plant-wise, it flourishes, and I kill cacti, and I just don't believe how he does it. Put some lights on it, we won't need a Christmas tree, and I'm just worried, like, will it get bigger?
I'm thinking of putting some of those very thin LED lights around it just to spruce it up. It's a joy just taking a look at this thing.
It's not just a great plant, great people as well, kind of like the giant beet from, what, a week ago or so, and that farmer was fantastic. By the way, I stumbled over the word because, is it poinsettia or poinsettia? One of the things you learn at CBC is people are very passionate about words, coyote, coyote, buoy, boy, and now this one. So please send your angry tweets to me. That is the National for November 27th. I hope you can join me Sunday for Cross Country Checkup on CBC Radio 1 between 4 and 6 Eastern, and then later that evening back here on the National. Good night.